Hey there besties, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'll be showing you 6 popular transitions that I use in my videos and break them down step by step. Before going into it, there will be a few things you need. First, you need a TikTok or Instagram account. I prefer to use TikTok, but the Reels function on Instagram works too. Second, I recommend using a tripod for some of these transitions that use your hands, arms, or body. You can also use a friend with a steady hand. Make sure you have any props ahead of time so you don't waste your time searching for them when you could be filming. Also, make sure the sound you want to use is saved or able to be found easily. There is nothing more frustrating than when you can't find the audio for the video. Lastly, you want a positive attitude. Know that it might take you a few tries to get the transition down. Trust me, it can be tricky at first, but with a little bit of elbow grease and determination, you'll become a transition pro. The first transition I'm going to show you, and the simplest, is the hand swipe. Hey bestie, how you doing? Alright, so you'll see that I like to zoom in on my videos a lot. It gives me that close-up effect without distorting the image at all. So I click on the timer on the right hand side and I move the slider to where I want the transition to be. The song I chose is Dream by Fleetwood Mac, which is a great song. So when I do a transition, I move my hand from the right side to the left. When I did this take, I didn't move my hand all the way in front of the screen by the last recording frame, which you see here. This can cause the transition to look jumpy and not as smooth. I didn't show the full clip in itself because I thought I did it right, but in the next clip, I'll show you how to do it right. Now in the final frame, you see that my entire hand is covering the camera. I also did not stop my hand when the recording stopped, but I still continued to move it. This helps the transition look smooth and make you look like a pro. I know it seems like a lot of work, but believe me, trust the process, it will look so good later. Let me get all done up and I will be right back. Now that I'm back and looking gorge, I zoom back in again exactly to where I want to be. Now remember, we want to keep our hand moving to keep the video consistent. Don't just hold your hand there once the music starts. I hold my hand in front of the camera and I actually start to move it a little bit before the music so it seems even smoother, like it's continuing from the last clip. Alright, finishing it up, being a goofball. Now let's see how smooth that transition was. Boom! That was basically perfection. I'm going to edit the ending off by clicking Adjust Clips on the right hand side of the screen. If my hand was not moving and then moved a little bit later, I can also trim down the video and edit that frozen hand out so the transition can seem even smoother. And here is the final product. Now here I go again, I see in crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself. Yeehaw! The next transition we will go over is the head flip, aka the popular I wanna end me makeup trend. Rather than using my tripod to hold the phone, I will hold the phone in my hands and not zoom in on myself. Like before, I listen to the audio to figure out when to do the transition. I want to land my new look on the second bass drop, so that's where I drag it to. I'm going to slow down this part of the video so you can see the process better. For this transition, you stare into the camera lens and turn your phone upside down at the bass drop. By the time the bass is gone, your phone is upside down, your eyes still looking at the lens. When the little come on, that's when you bring the camera over your head. So sorry that I reacted to my double chin here, it was bad. Let me go change and I'll be right back. For this video, I also wanted to add some dramatic lighting. I have some colored covers for some of my lights that help spice up the vibe. You can get them and the lights on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. So now it's time to add the second half of the video. The 2 main things you need to do for this transition to look smooth is to line up your phone to the middle of your head and make eye contact with the lens when it comes back to your face. Here's what it looks like when you don't do that. See how it just looks not right? Even after I trim the beginning of the second clip, it just does not seem smooth or consistent. I try to line it up with my middle part to keep it straight and consistent. It was also easier for me to use 2 hands to bring it back down since I had a better grip on my phone. This time I lined it up perfectly and not only looked at the camera lens but added a zoom for a little more of a serious, spooky effect. much better. 10 out of 10 would watch again. I'm going to trim up the clip and make sure it's totally smooth. And here's the final product. Ding! I want to end me. I want to end me. The third transition we'll go over is crossed arms sliding down the screen. First, gotta zoom into right where I need it. I also rolled my sleeves down because the outfit I plan to wear in the second half has no sleeves, and so this will lead to a smoother transition. The audio I'm using is Prisoner by Miley, Cyrus, and Dua Lipa. I'm dragging the recording limit to a beat drop to give the transition more of a dramatic effect. For this one, I will bring my arms up above my head and move them down over my face and upper body at the beat drop. In this clip, I actually made the recording limit too short, so my arms didn't have the time to move over my face, as you see here. We want the start of the movement at the end of the clip to make it really seamless. This time, I made the recording limit a little longer so my arms had time to move. But you don't have to go all the way across the screen by the end of a limit for it to be smooth. You want to aim for it to be right in front of your face by the time the recording ends. As you will see later on, this will bring a flawless transition to your video. Let me go get changed and I will be right back. For the second half of this transition, I'm going to start with my arms back over my head as if I not moved them at all. Then I move them down my face at the beat drop and do my little thing. Let's jump into editing this clip to make sure it will be a smooth transition. Alright, it was almost already perfect. We're just going to trim up the beginning just a little bit, double check that it's smooth, and here's the final product. Go prisoner, prisoner, locked up, can't get you off my mind, Lord knows I've tried to. With this transition, we are going to be pushing the old self away. Most people do this with their hands, but I decided to do something different and use a pillow because who doesn't love pillows? I had to take a few moments and practice this one because y'all, it's a little difficult. With this audio, there's a specific point where the push is supposed to happen, so I set my recording limit to that spot. You'll hear the audio in the end and I think you might recognize it. The first time I recorded this, it was a total flop. I moved my body back and then my whole arm with the pillow was in the frame. This was definitely a transition that requires a bit of practice. When I tried a second time, I didn't move my head and the pillow fast enough. In the very last frame, you can see that they are still there. That will make the transition seem not as smooth as if my head was covered by the pillow or completely out of the frame. This third time, I was able to line everything up how I needed to. In the last frame, it was mostly the pillow that was in the shot and my head was almost covered entirely. Let me get cute and I'll be right back. Now that I look adorbs, let's finish the transition. I dragged the recording limit to the point where I wanted the video to stop and practiced my transition a few times, which I cut out for time. The first attempt was not that great. By the time my clip started, the pillow was already at the other side of the screen. This made the transition look very jumpy and not clean. Did you guys see that? It was almost like the pillow teleported. Since I was happy with the recording limit, I just pressed start over after clicking on the clip and decided to refilm. This time, everything lined up almost perfectly, and I just trimmed the clip a bit so it would look smoother. And here's the final product. Guys, I need your help. There's a girl who looks like me and she's trying to— oh, shut up. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Our next transition is the head turn transition. This can be used for a lot of different trends, but I picked the Wild Thoughts trend, which is a remixed version of the popular song sung by Rihanna. Zoomed in, dragged the recording limit to the end right after she says, "I don't know if you can," when I will start to turn my head to the right. I don't turn it completely, it's more like a half turn. I took my phone off the stand and moved it to the right to complete the head turn. I thought it'd be a good idea to zoom out, but I think the change made the video seem not as smooth. After I zoomed it back in, the first transition went a lot better. I also used a timer this time to set the recording length for the wink, unlike the first time, so I can make sure it didn't accidentally go into the next part of the sound. The time goes by real fast, so make sure you're ready. Make sure that after the wink, you move your head back to the left to prepare for the next transition. Since I thought it looked good, I went and got ready for the next transition. Don't I look angelic? You don't need to tell me, I already know. Zoomed in and set the recording time. I want to keep it short so I didn't use the whole sound. This time we are bringing our head in from facing the right back to the middle, completing the head turn from the last clip. And now let's see the final product.
DJ Khaled!
I don't know if you can take it. No, you want to see me naked, naked, naked. I want to be a baby, baby, baby. The last transition we'll be doing is this close-up transition. This one probably took me about 3 days to get a good video for, so buckle up. I used an edit of Streets by Doja Cat where there's silence leading up to the verse. You've probably heard it. This is another handheld one, and I set the recording length to end right on the bass drop, where the transition is supposed to be. At the end of a recording, you are supposed to quickly bring the phone up to your face. The first time I recorded it, I actually cut the time too short, and the transition was left out completely. So of course, time to redo. I made the recording limit just a little bit longer this time, so the start of a transition will be included in the clip. As you can see, I was able to get the first part in, but I leaned over to the left when I brought it in. This will cause issues later on. So now that I am done up and serving looks, let's finish this video. I allowed the recording limit to go as long as it could to film the whole clip. I started the transition close to where I held it before, then pulled it in close at the beat drop. I thought it looked good, besides my eyes wandering off at the end, but as you can see, it just didn't line up. No matter which clip I edited, it did not look consistent and was a little jumpy. I decided to just re-record it over and over again. I cut those out for time, but finally I was able to get a shot that was smooth and made me not look too stupid. This turned out okay, but I want to trim up the ends a bit to make it seamless and to edit my eyes moving at the end. Before we see the final product, I have one more important tip I need to share with you. So Instagram is purposely trying to make it more difficult for TikTok users to upload their videos to their platform. Rude. If you have a TikTok watermark in your videos, Instagram will not promote your videos as much as they would promote a video without one. And sometimes when you use Reels to record, your video lags at the beginning, so what do? How I avoid these problems is screen recording my videos. Right before you post it to the app, begin your screen record and click on the preview in the top right hand corner. This shows you what your video will look like when it's in the app with no watermark. I made sure to record it at least 4 or 5 times before ending my screen recording, just in case you get a pesky notification. I've also noticed that if you only record it once, the lagging issue still happens. Once the screen recording is saved to your photos, open your photo app. It'll be the most recent video in your album. Click on it and press the edit button in the right corner. From here, we're going to drag the time limit, similar to the TikTok app's limit bars, to find a video that does not have any notifications interrupting the screen. If you want to be precise in your trimming, press the yellow arrow bar for a few seconds so you can really make sure the ends of your video are clean. I usually pick the 3rd or 4th time that I recorded just to be safe about any lagging. Once I have the ends of my video trimmed, I need to crop the top and bottom bars on my video. In Reels, it doesn't usually show, but I started doing this again just in case they change things up. Hit save at the bottom right corner, and you can either choose a save video or save as new clip. Either one works. Once the video is fully saved, open up Instagram and post the reel as you normally would. Slide up to show your recent videos, make your selection and press edit, and you will see that your video has no lags at all. Yeah.
Boom!
Dumb papa, you a rare breed. No comparing, and it's motherfucking scary.
Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or DM me on Instagram, which will be linked below and at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Stay healthy and stay safe. Bye!